He wasn't my father, but he was still...
I've spent years trying to figure out why Kovu was so different from the other Outlanders. As a kid watching Lion King 2, I wondered why this supposedly evil heir to Scar had such a good heart despite his upbringing. The answer hit me during a late-night rewatch of Lion Guard's Night Pride episodes. Like a lightning bolt, I saw it. Nirmala and Surak from the Night Pride share Kovu's exact features. Those distinctive green eyes, dark fur, and that forelock. The resemblance is unmistakable. Suddenly, everything clicked. The timeline of their visit during Scar's reign, Nuka's admission that Kovu wasn't Scar's son, and Kovu's natural resistance to Zira's influence. Could the Tree of Life hold the secret to Kovu's true parentage? Today I'll share all the evidence. Did you ever catch that small but hugely significant line in The Lion King 2 that completely changes everything we think we know about Kovu? While most fans remember the big dramatic moments like the fire attack or the final battle, there's this one throwaway comment that practically rewrites Kovu's entire backstory, and most viewers don't even notice it. Let me take you back to that scene where Nuka is grumbling about having to babysit young Kovu and Vitani. He's dragging branches around with his shoulders hunched, eyes rolling dramatically while his voice drips with jealousy and resentment. Then suddenly, with a bitter scowl and twitching tail, he drops this hidden bomb about Kovu not actually being Scar's son, just someone Scar took in. This single puzzle piece completely shatters the foundation of what we believed about Kovu's identity and his supposed destiny as Scar's chosen heir. This revelation opens up a huge mystery about Kovu's true origins that the movie tosses at us then never addresses again. When you look closer at Kovu, he doesn't even resemble Zira much. His coloring differs completely, his features stand apart from the rest of his pride, and something about his inherent nature seems fundamentally mismatched with his supposed family members. It's like finding a robin's egg in a crow's nest. Something just doesn't add up. The timeline during Scar's reign makes this discovery fit perfectly. Remember how Scar felt about Nuka? He viewed the cub as weak and sickly. Definitely not the powerful heir he wanted. Scar needed someone with greater potential, and that's where Kovu entered. Not as his biological son, but as a replacement heir with better prospects. Analyzing Zira's obsessive behavior throughout the sequel reveals her desperate need to please Scar. She had already disappointed him with Nuka, who clearly failed to meet Scar's standards. This explains why she might have gone to extreme lengths to find a stronger cub to present to Scar, even if that meant acquiring a cub from elsewhere. Her fixation on training Kovu to avenge Scar resembles someone trying to compensate for previous failure. Nuka's seemingly casual remark functions like a hidden key that unlocks a completely different interpretation of the entire story. It transforms our understanding of Kovu's character arc by revealing he was never biologically connected to Scar, or possibly even to Zira. This also explains Kovu's natural resistance to becoming like Scar despite years of Zira's manipulation. Without Scar's bloodline, he wouldn't have inherited any tendencies toward cruelty and power hunger. Instead, his real parents, whoever they might be, passed down very different traits that kept surfacing despite Zira's efforts. The whole nature versus nurture theme takes on richer meaning with this revelation. Zira tried desperately to mold Kovu into becoming a mini Scar, but his true nature, inherited from his biological parents, kept breaking through despite everything. His capacity for love, his reluctance to harm others, his ability to see beyond hatred. These qualities make much more sense if he comes from a completely different bloodline. The mystery of Kovu's origins shapes his entire journey without ever being directly addressed in the film's main plot. Genetics don't lie, and Kovu's appearance tells a story his supposed family can't explain. While Nuka has red eyes, gray fur, and a scrawny build, Kovu stands out with his green eyes, dark brown coat, and strong physique. Traits that appear nowhere in Zira's bloodline, but match perfectly with a certain member of the Night Pride. Could this physical evidence be the smoking gun that solves the mystery of where Kovu really came from? The first time I saw the lions from the Tree of Life in Lion Guard, I literally did a double take. There on my screen was Surak, a lion who could practically be Kovu's twin. The resemblance was striking, identical features that are way too specific to be coincidental. This was the moment when all the pieces started falling into place, like finding the missing page that completes the story. Kovu's distinctive features tell their own tale. Those piercing green eyes stand out among the Outlanders. His rich dark brown fur creates a stark contrast with his Pride members, and that signature forelock of hair falling dramatically over one side of his face serves as a visual signature. These features work together like a genetic code that points directly to his true origins. When we look at Surak from the Night Pride, the genetic puzzle becomes clear. He has the exact same green eyes, identical shade of dark brown fur, and that same distinctive forelock falling across his face in exactly the same way. Throughout the entire Lion King universe, this specific combination of traits appears nowhere else except in these two lions. Their physical similarities are like a secret message written in DNA waiting for someone to decode it. The contrast between Kovu and Nuka makes the genetic evidence even more compelling. Brothers typically share some physical traits from their parents. That's basic genetics. But comparing them side by side reveals completely different characteristics. Green eyes versus red, dark brown fur versus light gray, strong muscular build versus scrawny frame. They're like plants from two different gardens growing in the same soil. Their differences reveal their separate origins. In our theory, when Kiara and Kovu visit the Tree of Life together, the animals there immediately notice something the Pridelanders missed. Several of them actually mistake Kovu for a member of the Night Pride, with one elderly animal even commenting that he looks just like Surak did when he was younger. It's not just us seeing the resemblance, it's acknowledged within the story world itself. Consider what this means for Kovu's supposed lineage. If he were truly Zira's son with some unknown mate from the Outlands, where would these distinctive Night Pride features come from? These aren't random traits appearing by chance. They're genetic markers passed down through generations, telling the story of his ancestry. It's similar to looking at family photos and instantly recognizing relatives by their shared features. The family nose or distinctive smile that connects generations. Physical traits follow genetic patterns, and Kovu's appearance clearly speaks of Night Pride genetics. He lacks all Outlander physical characteristics while matching Surak trait for trait. These physical similarities extend beyond appearance. They reveal deeper connections explaining Kovu's personality and natural instincts. His body type, movement patterns, and even his bearing reflect Night Pride heritage rather than any connection to Scar or Zira's bloodline. His genetics are like a map leading back to his true home. Not the barren Outlands, but the lush Tree of Life where his real family resides. Those Night Pride features didn't just randomly appear in the Outlands, but were brought there through a royal mission that went horribly wrong. Queen Janna and Mufasa shared something few outsiders knew about, a sacred alliance between kingdoms that would accidentally deliver a perfect heir right into Scar's territory at exactly the moment he was desperately searching for one. Mufasa recognized something crucial about rulership. No kingdom survives alone. The wise Lion King understood creating connections beyond the Pride Lands would strengthen his reign during challenging times like droughts or territorial disputes. This wisdom pushed Mufasa to venture far beyond familiar borders alongside Rafiki, traveling through dangerous terrain to reach the legendary Tree of Life, a magnificent sanctuary where injured animals from across the world found healing. Here, Mufasa first encountered Queen Janna, the powerful ruler of the Night Pride who guarded this special place with fierce dedication. Their meeting transformed into something truly significant. Mufasa and Queen Janna formed a deep friendship based on shared values about protection and leadership. They created a formal alliance, promising their kingdoms would always welcome and help each other's subjects. This alliance represented hope for both kingdoms, a connection that would ensure neither would face hardships alone when disaster struck. For years, this partnership flourished quietly. The Pride Lands and Tree of Life maintained regular communication, sharing news and sending occasional visitors between realms. But everything changed when Scar seized power after Mufasa's death. The messages between kingdoms suddenly stopped, creating growing concern in Queen Janna, who wondered what terrible fate had befallen her friend and ally. After months of worried silence, Queen Janna faced a difficult choice. She couldn't abandon the alliance, but her guardian duties prevented her from leaving. "I must send someone to discover what has happened to Mufasa," she declared to her Night Pride. This pivotal moment would unknowingly set the stage for everything that followed. Her selection for this crucial mission changed Lion King history forever. She chose her son Surak and his mate Nirmala to journey to the Pride Lands. The timing proved catastrophic. Nirmala had just given birth to a beautiful male cub with distinctive Night Pride features. This little cub was baby Kovu, accompanying his parents on their fateful journey. Surak and Nirmala traveled straight into Scar's corrupted kingdom during its darkest period. Their arrival coincided perfectly with Scar's growing disappointment in Nuka and his search for a better heir. A strong, healthy male cub from royal bloodline appeared exactly when Scar needed one most. This theory explains why Night Pride lions would be near the Pride Lands during such dangerous times. It wasn't chance, but the direct result of Mufasa's diplomatic foresight years earlier. The alliance meant to strengthen both kingdoms created perfect conditions for tragedy. The irony is striking. Mufasa's wisdom in establishing ties with Queen Janna ultimately provided Scar with the perfect successor. Diplomatic connections meant to protect the Pride Lands delivered a lion cub with royal Night Pride blood directly into enemy territory. Kovu wasn't just any kidnapped cub. He was a prince from a neighboring kingdom on a diplomatic mission with his parents. This revelation transforms our understanding of Zira's connection to Kovu. She recognized something special in this little prince from another land. The circumstances separated this Night Pride cub from his true parents and placed him under the influence of those who would use him for vengeance. The journey that ended with Kovu and Zira's paws wasn't just unfortunate. It was a calculated act of cruelty that forever altered the course of 3 lives. What happens when 2 protective parents, weakened from their long journey across the savannah, unknowingly enter the territory of a lioness consumed by the need to please her tyrannical king? The answer paints the most heartbreaking chapter of Kovu's origin story. As Nirmala and Surak approached the borders of the Pride Lands, exhaustion had settled deep in their bones. Their mission to reconnect with Mufasa's kingdom was nearly complete, but the harsh terrain had taken its toll, especially on Nirmala. Still recovering from giving birth, she needed rest before they could present themselves and their newborn son to the Pride Lands ruler. They had wandered into danger. The Outlands, with its cracked earth and skeletal trees, had become Zira's domain, completely different from the lush Tree of Life sanctuary they'd left behind. This barren landscape where survival demanded ruthlessness was the worst possible place for the family to rest. Watchful eyes spotted them quickly. A scout reported the visitors and their healthy male cub to Zira. The news solved her most pressing problem. Here was a strong cub who could become everything Nuka couldn't be. The attack came without warning. While Nirmala nursed her son and Surak scanned for signs of the Pride Lands, Zira's followers emerged from behind rocks. The exhausted travelers faced an organized assault from lionesses who knew every inch of this wasteland. Despite their weakness, the Night Pride lions fought desperately. Surak's heart pounded as he charged multiple attackers, his roars echoing across the barren landscape. Nirmala curled around baby Kovu, her maternal instincts heightened by danger. Each slash of her claws was driven by love rather than training. This wasn't just a battle, but a mother fighting for her child's future. The moment everything changed came with Nirmala's cry of pain. A vicious blow left her bleeding and disoriented. In that brief moment of vulnerability, one of Zira's followers snatched baby Kovu, the small brown cub with striking green eyes. Surak's eyes dangled from unfamiliar jaws as the kidnapper raced away. Surak faced an impossible choice that would haunt him forever: chase his son or save his mate. The anguish in those green eyes, the same eyes he'd passed to Kovu, reflected his torment as he rushed to Nirmala's side. By the time she could stand, the kidnapper's scents had vanished in the harsh outland winds. For days, they searched desperately. Their journey led them to borders patrolled by hostile hyenas who made their allegiance to Scar clear. These weren't Mufasa's Pride Lands anymore. With Nirmala growing weaker and no leads to follow, they made the devastating decision to return to the Tree of Life, not abandoning hope, but seeking reinforcements and healing. By the time they organized a proper search, Scar's reign had fallen, and any trail to find Kovu had vanished. Meanwhile, Zira presented the stolen cub to Scar as a gift, a worthy heir with obvious strength and noble bearing. The distinctive green eyes and unusually strong physique for a newborn, clear signs of his Night Pride heritage, became his path into Scar's favor. Zira let Scar believe this superior cub was connected to his lineage, never mentioning the foreign lions from whom she'd taken him. The tyrant was pleased, and Zira had found her way back into his good graces. So when we piece together all these clues, we understand why Lion King 2 never felt quite right. Kovu wasn't just some random cub Scar adopted. He was royalty from another kingdom entirely. His story transcends simple redemption. Imagine the moment after Lion King 2 ends. Kovu visits the Tree of Life. Eyes widen in recognition. Nirmala approaches with trembling hands, tears streaming as she touches his face. Surak's voice breaks. "My son." Suddenly, everything falls into place. Why Kovu rejected hatred. Why peace called to him. Why he never truly belonged with the Outlanders. The royal Night Pride blood flowing through his veins pulled him toward his true nature all along. His journey home was inevitable, because you can't erase who you truly are. What do you think? Could Kovu's story be about reclaiming claiming a stolen birthright rather than overcoming an evil legacy?